Hey kids, can anybody see or hear me? Hello? All right, guess I'm just a couple minutes late this morning, afternoon, evening. Decided to do something a little different for a change. But now you can't see me, can you? Great, I can't see you either. Ah. Hey Cam, can you see me? Hey Grizz. Welcome, how you doing, buddy? Can you guys hear me okay? I know it's a little dark because we're outside. I can see you. Okay, good. Can you see me very well? I got a very light background behind me. I don't know. Well, I think I know what I can do to change that. Hold on a second. There, guys. Is that better? Now you can see me better, but now I can't read the chat worth a dang. Okay. Guess I'm just going to have to lean in here on the chat. So if I appeared really zoomed in, that's why I'm here. Hello, Christine. Hello, Sorrenti. Video and audio both good. It's not running. It's not raining. No, Kim, it is not raining. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful sky here in Alaska. It is just gorgeous out here right now. Let me give you a little look around to see kind of what my place looks like right now. Everything's all green and beautiful right now up here in Alaska. Beautiful day up here. It's about 72 degrees right now, and just an awesome day. Just an awesome day. Grandpa, it was fine before. Okay, well, now it's finer. Of course, now I'm sitting in the sun instead of in the shade, but that's okay. You know, us Alaskans, 72 degrees is about all we can handle, you know. It starts getting this hot up here, and we all start running for the air conditioning at about 74 degrees. So one of the things I'm going to have to get back accustomed to once I get down, I'm sorry I'm messing with that, once I get down to the Carib. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So me and Miss Lily are out here. Lily, come here. Lily, come here. Come here. Come on. Here's Miss Lily. I don't know if you can see her. See her? Here's this Lily. Come here. Come here. Come on. No, here. Come on. Come on. Come on up. Come on up. No, she ain't coming up. She likes to keep her feet solidly on the ground. So, all right, you're knocking the table, dog. Get. So, guys, I'm having trouble seeing the screen because it's so bright out here. So if I miss your comment or your question, please repeat it, and I'll do as good a job as I can possibly do to respond. I see Sorrenti is there, and Austin. Hey, home place. Yeah, Miss Lily's just not going to jump up here and join us. You can probably hear her panting in the background. Poor dog is so hot. She's been out here playing. She plays with this old coffee cup. She runs around and chases it and makes herself look a fool with it. But she just has so much fun with it. I've been tempted to throw it out a dozen times, but it's like her favorite thing to do. So I leave it with her. Tape a piece of paper over the laptop screen or something to dim the light. Yeah. Something to dim the light. You mean to shade it or something? Yeah, I guess I'll have to work out. I'm going to have to work out being outdoors and doing my live streams because I'm going to try from here on out as much as I possibly can to be outside. Being in that cabin is just more than I could deal with anymore. So, you know, we went all winter, and then this spring it's just been raining, 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 raining. It's finally got some green up now, and it's just beautiful out here. I'm saying so you could read the chat better. Yeah, I guess I need to make a hood to go over it so I can see it better. I don't know how that'll affect stuff, but I'll work it out, Sorrenti. I'll figure out something. Maybe I'll make a little cardboard box or something that sits over it to give it more shade so I can see better. More importantly, that you guys can see and hear me, I guess. If I get in real close and squint a little bit to see the chat, you guys will have to just understand that. So maybe set the laptop in a box. Yep, that's what I think I'll do. Hey, Declan, how you doing, buddy? It's a crazy night for live streams. Bank holiday over here. That's why I can watch. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, it's been a real crazy day for live streams. We've had Sailing Doodles, my buddy Bob's and Megan over there, Sailing Doodles. Really interesting situation. Bob is in St. Martin right now looking at my personally favorite boat of all time, the Lagoon 440. It looks like one of their subscribers, patrons, is going to buy that boat and let him and Megan run it as a charter business and run their channel from it, which would be awesome for both parties involved. Really envious of them being on an L440. And then at the same time, Rand Sailing did a live stream. Right after Rand Sailing, there was a live stream by Sailing Ruby Rose, which I watched. And then just a little bit ago, Gone with the Winds, which I missed. Gone with the Winds did a live stream. So, hey, I'm glad to see it. You know, there's really no reason at all why all the people in the sailing genre aren't doing live streams on a regular basis. I used to be involved with a homesteading group, and at least they organized where everybody had a specific time to do their live streams. Now, I know that's more difficult with the sailing cruising genre because, frankly, when you're on a sailboat, you have no idea where you're going to be and when you're going to be there. But at least it made it so that people weren't stepping over each other. And I think it was just a bad communications between Rand Sailing and Sailing Doodles this morning. They both broadcasted exactly the same time. So, unfortunately, Doodles broke theirs up into part 1 and part 2, and so I watched a little bit of Rand Sailing there in the middle, and that was pretty cool. So, guys, if you just came in and I'm squinting looking at the screen here, it's because I'm in the sunlight. It's hard for me to see my pooter. So, it's past midnight, mate. Oh, man, Declan, sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, well, you know, I'm up here in Alaska, so I wait till the latter part of the day to do mine. For me, doing it at 7 p.m. Eastern time, you know, gets me 7, 6, 5, and 4 on the West Coast. So it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday on the West Coast, 7 p.m. at night on the East Coast. And no offense, Declan, but the majority of my people from, my peeps are from the United States. So I imagine once I get out sailing more, that's going to change, especially since I want to head over to the Med fairly soon. Just got a hankering for going over to the Greek Isles and getting some good souvlaki and some good shish kebabs, you know, from Turkey. So, gonna head that way, and then I'll probably pick up more of a European audience when I do that. The winds, which they were real, so fake, but the wife is beautiful. Yeah, the winds, you know, I don't think they're fake. I just think it's just their style. You know, it's just their style. It's the kind of people that they are. They're not your typical down in the dirt kind of sailing, cruising people. They started doing an RV channel, and the RV channel segued over to a sailing channel, which of course is a logical, you know, growth in anyone's development. But I think they're nice folks. They're unique folks, but yeah, they do come off a little hoity-toity, you know, is the way I look at it. But that's fine. They're still great folks, so they do a good channel. They, you know, they disseminate some great information. So, hey, T, nice to see you, darling. I'm sitting outside, so I got to squint to see my screen. So I'm sorry if I kind of get in close here on you guys, but I'm trying to read what it says on the screen. Yeah, outside, yep. And no grandpa, it's all good. Yep, it's all good. And any news you want to share? Any news I want to share? Kim, interesting that you bring that up. You know, I've been a real estate broker my entire life. And as a real estate broker, generally speaking, you have somebody wanting to sell a property, you have somebody comes along wants to buy the property. And once those two people kind of agree on things, everybody seems to be moving as quickly as they can to get it done. Every so often, very rare, but every so often we run into one of these individuals that just walks to a different drummer, just has a different pace from everybody else. And that apparently seems to be the lady who wants to buy my property. Last Sunday, you may recall, I hadn't heard anything from her, no word at all, didn't know where anything was going. And, you know, yesterday, or actually day before yesterday, I get a text message from her saying that to meet the requirements for one of the lenders, she had to go take some course that was given by the Small Business Administration. So she's been in classes, and then she talked with the Small Business Administration. She's been back talking to her bank and back and forth. So apparently she's been doing a whole lot of stuff towards the purchase of the farm that she just wasn't communicating to me. And so naturally I was, panicking, thinking nothing was happening. But in fact, that wasn't the case. So sorry, but I disagree. They want sailing because they saw how much more popular sailing was and the money. Yeah, well, yeah, Declan, I have to kind of agree with that too. It's, but that's prudent, I guess, on that part. But no, I think what I was saying, Declan, is they move from RVing into sailing because it's a natural extension of the lifestyle. A lot of people go RVing, and there's a lot of RV channels out on YouTube, but land is finite. There's just so much of it. And with an RV, you're limited to just being on roads. In fact, with an RV, you have to stay on pretty good roads. They really aren't made for off-roading much. And so it really limits the areas you can visit. By boat, it expands your horizon that much further. And that's what I mean by the likely transition. So anyhow, going back to the lady who was buying the property. So it appears like, yes, she is... Guess what, Carl? Not a cigarette. Hey, awesome, Teresa. Good job. Quit smoking, dear. Absolutely. For a lady who's on oxygen, yeah, just saying. But man, I'm proud of you, Teresa. Keep it up. Anyhow, back to the lady. So she wants to meet tomorrow. So tomorrow they're coming up here. They want to walk off more of the property and have another look at it. And we're going to sit and work out the details of whatever we're working out. I don't know exactly what those details are. She has a pretty clear idea, at least ways I tried to convey to her a pretty clear idea of what it is I need. Now it's a matter of matching what I need with what she can do and see if we have any meeting of the mind. So right now I'm optimistic. We've got a meeting happening on Monday that might move things along finally, or it may stop everything. Who knows? I don't know yet. What I do feel reassured about is I was able to look up the property where she lives now. Very nice place. Very, very nice home, nice neighborhood. But I was able to look at the details of when she purchased that property. And it took her like 5.5 months to buy that place. And that was from the time they were in contract until they actually closed on the sale. So apparently this laissez-faire, I'll get to it when I get to it mentality is just her SOP, her standard way of doing things. She's just sort of laid back and lets things happen on whatever schedule she feels is the schedule she needs to deal with. So I'm thinking that she's going to move forward and try to buy the property, but I'm also thinking that she's just going to take forever to get things done. And so right now I'm beginning to wonder if I'm going to be here this coming winter or not. But at least it'll give me more time to clean things up and get stuff done. So we will see what happens. Trying to read the text, guys. I'm sorry, but it's hard for me to see in the sunlight here. I'm working getting my weight down. Hey, good on you, home place. Excellent. I am too. Cool. Anyhow, so that's kind of the news up here, is that this lady has been a slow process in getting her real estate transactions historically done. When she bought her place, it took her, what should have been a 2-month process, took 5 months. And I'm sure that was on her and her, not doing things on a rush basis like most normal people do. Some people just move on a different schedule. So, oh, there's a bee. Do you see yourself, the live video feeds becoming more and more popular? I'm sorry if I'm reading like I'm an idiot, but it's hard to see here. Is it a working farm? I do see the live feeds becoming more and more popular, Kim, because they're really easy to do. It requires no editing on our part. We, can set up the computer. 2 minutes later, we're up live doing a live stream. We can do a live stream for an hour and a half. If we're smart, we're doing the smart chats where people can click on the $ and donate. As you know, Bobby and Megan make bank during their live streams. A lot of the YouTube creators who are doing live streams and doing the super chat are making substantial sums, some more than others. It just depends on who you are and what they're doing. Some people like doing the Patreon thing or what have you. Other people like to be a bit more public with it. So I think the live streams are a popular way to be able to interact with your subscribers and your viewers on an immediate one-on-one. I think they're a great way of letting people catch up with where you are in life. One of my big frustrations is how many of these sailing channels are 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months behind. The videos that they put out today is really what they were doing last year, like in the case of Delos. They're so far behind that it's hard to relate to them to some degree. So, yeah, I think the live streams are going to become much more popular with time. I myself plan on substantially stepping up my live stream activity once I am up and running and doing live streams. Holy crap, someone just donated. Who is that? Grizz, Declan, buddies. Hey, man, thank you so much. You guys rock. Seriously, man, that's awesome. That's just that. But see, that's what I'm talking about. This is, people can make a little contribution like that and just make my day. And literally, guys, that just made my whole day. Especially you, Grizz. I know you're not a real wealthy guy. That's just awesome, man. That's just awesome. Yeah, so these live streams are becoming popular and more popular every day. And I think they're a great way because they're current. They're, in the now. This is me. I am sitting here on the deck of this little cabin I'm building, a little storage cabin. I'm out here in my yard right now live. This is what Alaska looks like today at this exact second. Beautiful, breezy. I don't know if you're getting wind noise on the microphone, but kind of breezy up here. So it's kind of noisy. I was going to try to find my mouse so I could move this chat. I missed some stuff. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do that. I just can't see my screen well enough. So, guys, if I missed your question or your comment, repeat it so I can maybe see it next time. You're a cool bloke. Love you. I'm broke as fuck. Much love. Hey, Declan, man, I really appreciate it. Hey, us Irish got to stick together, man. My sister, Linda, she's the oldest of my 3 sisters. I'm the youngest of the family. My sister Linda, who is, I guess she's 14 years older than me, decided to do one of those Ancestry.com things. Anyhow, she had them send me a DNA kit, and so I had to spit into this little vial and mail it off to them so they could look at it. Turns out I'm 17% Irish, Declan. So, yep, 17%. I'm Irish, I'm Scandinavian, and mostly European, though. So, yeah. I think it's the Irish and Scandinavian part of me that wants me to go sailing. The European part's definitely why I drink so much beer, or at least why I have. But, yep, those parts are... It was interesting, though, to see the ancestry. And what was really disturbing to me is my sister and mine reports came back different. Oh, Mom, I was thinking to myself. But yeah, my DNA and my sister's DNA came back slightly different. And they said that that's not abnormal. You know, that's why you can have twins that are born the exact same day but look so much different from each other. One might tend to you know, have more of one thing than the other. So every individual, even families with the same exact parents, will get different portions of different parts from each parent as things move along. So I found that to be pretty interesting. Oh, well, I really appreciate you guys donating to the cause, man. That's just awesome. That'll definitely help. Absolutely going to help. So, Kelly, you asked something and then retracted it. I didn't see what that was, man. At least you know what Craig means. Craig, like Craig again. I don't speak very much English, but I do speak a little Welsh. I only speak a little Welsh because in 1976 I was part of an American choir that had the opportunity to go over to Wales, to a little town called Ystrad Mynach in the Rhondda Valley in Wales. Where, interestingly enough, there's a castle with a coat of arms that belonged to my family, the Brooke, B-R-O-K-E family. But anyhow, I got to learn a little bit about Ireland and Wales and stuff while traveling over there. One of the things I want to do, Declan, and this is something that you should probably look up since you're there in Scotland, there's a group called the Atlantic Rally Cruisers, ARK, I think it is, maybe it's ARC. And they organize charters of boats where we can get together with other boats and travel from one country to another. Like, for example, they have an arc that starts in Europe. All the boats get together in, I forget the islands over there just outside of the Med. And they all get together and they sail over as one group. And that way you've got other boats like yours there traveling the same direction for safety. Well, they do a cruise up in Ireland. They do a Scottish whiskey or an Irish whiskey tour. Actually, I think it's Scotland and Ireland. And they sail along the coast, and they go from distillery to distillery sailing along there. One of the trips I'd really like to make. So, well, thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. Sorry it was a text message. Okay, well, text me a message then. No problem. Gosh, I'm having trouble seeing this. Ireland, mate. Ireland, yes, Ireland. Irish, yes. See, I want to go to Norway and Finland, where your family is from. Well, that's cool. Michigan Snow Pony and I look like twins, kind of, and we're not related as far as I know. Yeah, it is kind of interesting, isn't it, home place? Never been out of the States. Kim, really? Wow. Okay, I've been pretty much everywhere. My dad worked for Pan Am. He was a vice president for Pan American World Airways, if you remember back when Pan Am was around. In fact, the year that my dad retired was the year Pan Am went out of business. So I can honestly say it was my dad that kept them going. But because of that, we traveled all over the world. You've never been out of the States? Yeah, wow. Okay, back. Teresa's back. Hey, Teresa. Yeah, I've traveled all over. I've spent summers in the Mediterranean, and 1970, I remember we bought a Volkswagen Beetle in Germany and drove it down into Greece and Turkey, and then up through what was then Yugoslavia and Bulgaria, which is now all those other states because it's all been busted up and renamed. Spent a lot of time traveling, been to Beirut, I don't know how many times, down to the Caribbean, I don't know how many times, through the Orient, Bangkok and Tokyo, and I've traveled all over. I mean, there's very few places that I haven't been, because with my dad, we flew for free. So, we lived in New York. It was cheaper for us to go to Kennedy Airport, get on a plane, and fly to, say, London, and stay at the Intercontinental Hotel in London, than it was to drive over to the next town and stay at a Holiday Inn or a Howard Johnson's. Just because the airfare and hotel was free to him because of his position with the company. So we've traveled all over. In fact, it's been, in my later life that I started traveling more around the United States and actually moved around. I lived in New York for a while, then Ohio, then Montana, now up here in Alaska. And now I'm going to I'm going to be homeless. That's my goal, is now be homeless. So I want to be without a home. Any thoughts on the refrigeration sailing Uma is using? Well, Rusty, what I understand is, and hey, Rusty, how you doing? I understand it's working very well for them, and I'm sorry if I'm like diving in here, guys. I'm having trouble reading the screen here. It's so bright. I understand it's working for them. That style of refrigeration I do have concerns with, because when you get into the really warm tropical waters, I don't know if it's going to cool sufficiently. They say it is, so if it is, it is. You know, no problem. I would much rather have a refrigeration system working off of a 12-volt electric bank and having that be powered by solar panels, which kind of is what theirs is, but it's a little bit different. Substantially undersized, but you know, it's just the two of them, and they're young kids, so you know, they're still at that age where they're eating a lot of ramen and that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it'll be fine for them. Let's see, Kim said, I haven't even been to Colorado. Oh, Kim, you really got to get out, dear. No wonder why you guys are so worried about Megan down in Puerto Rico. You guys haven't been out of the state, so everything seems scary to you because you don't know it. Okay, I understand that now. That makes more sense to me now. Seems like working pretty good for them so far. Yeah, the refrigeration seems to be working very well for them, Rusty. You know, and I think it will, but I think when they start getting in really warm water, they may not have it be as cold as what they might like. So get a passport and do it. You'll not regret it. You will love life more. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, Teresa's never been out either. Yeah, guys, travel. There's, you know, the best thing that happened to me in my childhood was having parents that allowed me to travel. It gave me such a unique perspective of the world and what life is and what it has to offer and what you can do in it. My first wife that I married, Johanna, I don't know if Johanna's on here listening, so she sometimes trolls it. If you're there, Johanna, hello. But she pretty much had never been out of Brooklyn her whole life until they moved to Long Island, and then they'd never been out of that little area of Long Island. Never experienced any travel whatsoever. Actually, my second wife, Penny, you know, had never been anywhere outside the United States. She'd been around the United States, but not outside the United States until I took her down to the British Virgin Islands. That's the first and only stamp that she ever had in her passport, as far as I know. Johanna and I went to Spain, but I've not really been doing a lot of international travel. So it's going to be fun for me to get the boat and just go, to get the boat and sail around the world. Right now, if things work out well, my plan du jour, and of course it changes depending on circumstances, is I'm looking at a really nice boat in Lake Ontario. So if this lady buys my farm and I get out of here in time to buy that boat, I'm going to sail it down the Ontario Canal, down the Hudson into New York. I'm going to circumnavigate Long Island really quick and see some of my old friends and family. Down the East Coast, down to the Caribbean. I'll spend this winter coming up in the Caribbean. So it'll be a quick trip down the Hudson and Long Island because it'll be cold that time of year. I mean, it'll probably be September by then, and I'm really going to want to go. And then after spending this coming summer in the winter in the Caribbean, I think next summer I'm going to head over to the Med and go over there and see some of go get some Greek souvlaki. Go get some souvlaki. This is going to be a quest for souvlaki. So Lily's running off chasing a bird. All right, let's see, where else? Would love to go to Canada. I drive through Canada all the time. Sorrenti says, I've been out of the States, but only in Canada, if that counts. Yeah, Canada is part of the state, not as part of the States, it's part of North America. So that works for you. I would love to see the Northern Lights. Yeah, I see them all the time, but so I guess maybe I'm just kind of bored with it. But the best time of year to see the Northern Lights is where it's so cold outside you can't stand to be outside looking at them. So it's sort of a little bit of a catch-22. I have no desire to go outside the USA. Well, Teresa said that you should, because there's an awesome world out there. Just you going to do it solo. Declan, no, I rather imagine I'm going to have some people with me as I'm traveling. I plan on offering space on the boat and inviting guests on a regular basis to travel with me. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm looking at the boat that I'm looking at is there's three staterooms in it. There's a big V berth, and then there's there's a divided bedrooms in the back. So I could have 2 other couples get on the boat with me. So I don't plan on crossing oceans solo. I mean, I might work my way down island, that kind of stuff solo, but I'm not going to cross the ocean solo. It's too far, and I like to take shifts and keep it safe, and make sure we always have somebody up on deck looking out for whatever. But we will see. So we'll definitely see how that pans out. So. All right, guys, and I apologize for the screen bouncing up and down. I got to keep tilting my computer so I could read the screen. It helps to tilt and see myself in the reflection because I'm dark enough to let me read the screen better. So looks like I got caught up with everybody's questions. All right. Well, what else is new and exciting? I guess that's about it. There really isn't much else going on up here in Alaska. I'm waiting for the lady to meet me tomorrow. And tomorrow we will see what she's about. And Lily, get. Go lay down. We'll see what that's about and see where she's at tomorrow. And then we'll have a pretty better idea of what we're going to do when we're going to do it. So for the time being, I'm just absolutely enjoying this beautiful day. Although, as I speak, there's rain clouds coming over there. Give you a little perspective. The sun is almost straight overhead, or about as straight overhead as it gets here in Alaska, and it is 4 o'clock now, 5 o'clock. What time do I have? 3:33. The sun's almost straight overhead. It gets daylight here at around 4:30 in the morning and doesn't get dark until about midnight this time of year. So we have lots and lots of sunlight. So it's kind of odd. I wake up and it's sunny outside, and I go to bed and it's sunny outside, which is kind of weird, but just the opposite of what we have all winter where it's dark all the time. But because of that, everything's growing phenomenally. So I'm going to have to get mowing and start mowing the lawn and getting all that stuff taken care of so it looks halfway decent around here. Try to keep the place looking nice and presentable. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing that. Let's see. Rusty says, are you finishing up refitting the Ocean Voyager 26 with plans to go Ocean Voyager 26? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have an Ocean Voyager 26, Rusty. I'm going to be looking at buying a 41-foot boat is what I'm looking at right now. Hey, Gramps, can you give 2 quick updates on the what? Can you give on the boat? Okay, sorry guys, I'm having trouble reading because I'm in bright sunlight here. Try to do something outside. Brought up a good topic about sailing together in groups. Okay, let me do the groups. Quick update about the boat. Really, there's really nothing to update about the boat. Uh-oh. Did I lose something here? Geez, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just having a whole lot of trouble seeing this stuff. And fortunately, I've got a touch screen. There we go. All right. Update on the boat. There's nothing to update. Nothing up to date on the boat. It's still for sale. From what I understand from other people I've spoken to, it's been for sale for a long time. Probably going to stay for sale for quite a while. I'm hoping it stays for sale long enough till I get this place sold. I will say right now there's a ton of boats coming on the market. It's a great time to buy a boat because, of course, as we get into hurricane season in the Caribbean, a lot of guys are coming off the water, and rather than pay to store their boats all winter, they're trying to sell them and get rid of them. And so there's just a lot coming on the market right now. And again, some of that waving you see, guys, is just the wind blowing my computer because it's getting breezy out here. Kim, you were saying talk more about sailing together as groups. Look up the ARC, ARC, Atlantic Rally for Cruisers. Do a search for Atlantic Rally for Cruisers. And what they do is any boat can join in. If you want to cross the puddle as an example, which means sail from, like in May, they just had, last month, they just sailed from Nanny Key Marina in the BVI. They sailed from there up to Bermuda, and then from Bermuda they went over to the Azores, and then from the Azores into the Mediterranean. About 50, 60 boats sailed together. In October, I think it is, there'll be a gathering of maybe 200 boats together that will come from the Med back over to the United States. You have to understand, in sailing, there's seasons. And the season to be in the Caribbean is now over. Because, oh, look at my hair, wow. Because the wind and the hurricanes and stuff are blowing in. And it gets hot. So all the people that spent the winter in the Caribbean all move over to the Mediterranean. They go to the Mediterranean Sea. So they all sail over in groups to go to the Med. They'll spend the summertime sailing around the Mediterranean. They'll go to Spain and Italy and Greek Isles and coast of Turkey and Croatia and Egypt and Israel and Lebanon and wherever they want to go to. And then dog get. And then they all come back. They all come back together in October. They'll all meet together and then sail at the Canary Islands. They'll all meet up at the Canary Islands and then sail as one big group. And what's nice about doing that as a big group is just safety in numbers, guys. You know, human beings, we're like fish. We like to be in schools. We like to have large groups around us for safety. And even though you're crossing the big ocean and, you know, after the second or third day, you don't see any more boats because, you know, everyone's spread out over the entire ocean. Still, there's always a boat somewhere, you know, unless you're the very first guy or the last guy, you're usually sailing within the pack. And you'll have a boat, you know, just over the horizon from you. So if you get in trouble, they can come over and help you out. So that's what those are nice about is that you have these groups that all kind of get together and help each other out. It does cost a little bit of money to be part of that. They do have some safety briefings and some requirements for your boat that your boat has to meet to participate, which are just the usual, you know, normal checklist things that you want to have anyway. They do provide opportunity for people to get experience. You can sign up to participate on one of those boats. In other words, you could fly over to the Canary Islands and jump on a yacht and sail back across the Atlantic with them. They'll have you do that, so you're kind of helping them out by providing an extra person to stand watch. But it gives you some experience of open water sailing, which is kind of cool. So anyhow, it's just nice to have a large group like that from a safety standpoint and have a support group there. And then they also help you with a lot of logistics at both the Canary Islands, preparing for the sail. And then when they all get together, they have a big party in the Caribbean once they all get there. So anyhow, that's what that's about. Okay, don't say you will have someone on top for me, please. Okay, Declan, I won't say that. What did I do? Are we off air? Is there anybody there? I haven't seen a text message in a bit. Did I mess it up? Guys, are we all still broadcasting? No, I think we're broadcasting. Can anybody hear me out there? Yep, I'm good. Okay. Brought up a great topic about sailing together. Okay. I just was wondering because the chat had moved in a bit. I love shrimp. Just finished off. That was way too fast. Okay, you guys are all still there. Okay. All right. Well, I hope I answered your questions, Kim. And so you got that answered. I can't. Mike Albany says I can't. I can't what? You can't hear me, you can't see me. Obviously, you're responding, so you must have heard or seen me. Anyhow, guys, I'm sorry about the poor broadcast quality and the shakiness today. I guess I have to work out the kinks of being outside. I don't know what I can do to make my chat more legible, so I could see it easier. I haven't thought about trying to use a different device. Maybe by doing that, I can read it more readily, but I don't know how. And then of course there's always the transcription error. You know, when I'm on here and I'm broadcasting, I can see what I'm broadcasting when I'm broadcasting it, and then how long it takes for it to actually show up on the live screen. So there's quite a big lag, and today we seem to have a pretty big lag. So DJI goggles. Yeah, Mike, that might not be a bad idea. Get a pair of goggles to put on to reduce that. Quit, you're doing good. It is a pleasure to see you outside. Well, Teresa, it is a pleasure to be outside. I mean, this is just gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the breeze. I don't know if you can see the trees behind me and, you know, all the leaves fluttering in the wind and stuff, but the wind blowing through the grass. Now I'm probably getting wind on the microphone, but it's beautiful up here today. Sunshine, clear sky. There's one little rain cloud, and it's still sitting right there. It hasn't gone anywhere. What's really odd is it's windy at this level, but when I look up at the clouds aren't moving at all. So they're just stationary right over the top of me, and yet I've got a good breeze down at ground level. So, that's weird. What else is going on? Interesting stuff this week. America's Cup, been doing great. I don't know if anybody else has been following the America's Cup races. I find it so incredible to see these catamarans, these racing catamarans, 50-foot long boats, crew of 5 or 6 people on board, running around a race course in what they call a one design class. And a one design class means that all the boats are basically built the same. These guys are foiling, which means they get up on foils, so they get their boat completely up out of the water pretty much. They're doing 50 knots, 40 knots of speed. I mean, the speeds are just phenomenal. I mean, it doesn't seem like much when you're driving down the car doing 50 miles an hour. It doesn't seem like much, but when you're on the water, that's fast. I mean, that's really fast. So, been kind of exciting to watch the America's Cup. Been exciting to watch the hockey, the Stanley Cup. The Predators, I'm hoping they win, although they're behind 2-1 now in the series. Pittsburgh won the first 2 games, and Nashville won the second one. Tomorrow is game 4, so kind of another thing that interested Grandpa. Weird being up here and not farming. Somebody else asked earlier, that's a question I missed. Is it an actual working farm? It is a working peony farm. We raise peonies. Historically, though, I've raised hogs, chickens, ducks, turkeys, geese, horses, cows, pretty much raised goats, pretty much all kinds of farm animals. We used to do a pretty brisk business in goat milk soaps. We had goats and milked them and made goat milk soaps. And we had a company called the Alaskan Yard and Goat Company where we made goat milk soaps and sold them. We ran a farm market where we sold pigs and chickens, ducks, and turkeys, and geese. You know, live. We would process them and butcher them for folks and sell them to them. A lot of eggs, dozens and dozens, and I mean 70, 80, 100 dozen eggs a week in eggs. Not much in the ground planted, you know, that kind of stock except for our peonies. And peonies are our cash crop. So they did really well. Okay, let me read up on some chats here. In the Med, you will have to pay for marinas. There is all anchorages is all money in the Med. Yeah, Declan, that's not necessarily the case. Depends on where you go. If you go into the Greek Isles and off the coast of Turkey, you can get into a lot of anchorages and stuff there. Very much like the Bahamas. In that, you know, there's a lot of places that you can just anchor off. A lot of times you can go up and tie up to the quay, you know, which is the boardwalk in front of the town. You can what they call medmoor, which means you drop an anchor and then you back the back of your boat up to the shore and tie to the shore. And you can do those relatively inexpensively. Some of them will let you do it for free as long as you go into the store that you're backed up to and, you know, drink some coffee and have dinner there and what have you. So just depends on what you're doing. But yes, a lot of the Mediterranean is is staying at marinas, and I, of course, I'm just not going to go to those places. Just that simple. So can't afford it. So, do you like the charter idea? Kim, I've chartered boats many, many times. All the chartering I did was in the British Virgin Islands. I went down the first time and we chartered a Lagoon 440, the same boat that Bob and Megan are going to be on. And we chartered it for a week with a captain and a cook, just the same situation that they're offering. And it didn't work out well for us. It was a bareboat charter, but then we hired a skipper and a cook. And it just didn't work out for us. The captain was supposed to be teaching us about the operation of the sailboat. She had never sailed on a catamaran before, so that defeated that whole purpose. And the cook was just a witch. We had the boat and her for a week. At the end of the third day, my wife said, put her ashore. My wife said she'd rather cook the meals herself and not have that biatch on the boat. So that's what we did. On the end of the third day, we pulled up to an anchorage and put the woman ashore and gave her taxi money to get back home. So, but yes, I think that chartering is a great way. I do think the mistake that I made was taking my wife out on a charter on a boat that I really couldn't afford. I should have chartered a smaller monohull that I could afford and taken her out on that. And I think we would have been sailing much earlier. But, we chartered that luxury cat, and she just set that as the standard and didn't want to go sailing unless we had that. And that ended up becoming a big problem for me. But it's a great opportunity to learn about sailing if you go with a good captain and crew. And I think Bobby and Megan would probably do a pretty good job of teaching people about sailing. I don't know how expert they're going to be at catamarans for a while, but, give them some time and they'll get much better at that. So I do like the idea of a charter. I do think that in their particular situation, though, I have some concerns because they're going to be on a boat owned by somebody else. And so, that's always problematic in one way or another. So I'm optimistic for them. And I do think it's going to be a good match. I think it was wise of the guy to buy the boat and have them charter, because due to the success of their channel, they're going to have a built-in clientele. They're going to book that boat solid all season long, just from all of the fans and subscribers and stuff. So, they should have a higher than average occupancy rate. I don't know how well Megan and Bobby will be able to deal with servicing that many customers, and servicing is the right word, because, you're cleaning up after them and you're making beds and you're washing pots and you're cleaning the boat. And, it's a lot of hard work and stuff when you're chartering down in the Caribbean. So I don't know if they're up for that yet. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I don't know if Bobby wants to work that hard, because it will be a lot of work for him. Let's see. Would you, being a smoker, prohibit someone from... Would being a smoker prohibit... No, Paulie. Just because you smoke cigarettes, you breathe, don't you? I mean, you're obviously not going to smoke a cigarette underneath the water, but being a scuba diver, being a smoker is no reason why you couldn't go scuba diving. Absolutely no reason why you couldn't go scuba diving. If you've gone to the point where, you're on an oxygen bottle, or you've got some kind of disease as a result of it, but if you just smoke cigarettes and you don't really have any, clinical diagnosis, there's anything wrong with you as a result of that, no, there's no reason why you can't go scuba diving. Scuba diving is just air like you're breathing right now. It's just compressed air that you're breathing underwater. So as long as you can breathe on the water, above the water, you can breathe below the water. It's just that simple. Okay. Hey, Scratchmate Homestead, what's up? Nice to see you here. Sorry if I'm tilting this around. I'm in bright sunlight, having trouble reading the chat. I could go on into the physical demands of O2 and PO2 and that stuff, but not enough time or space. Yeah, but Teresa, you have an advanced respiratory problem as a result of your smoking. Just somebody who smokes a cigarette, pack a day even, some people can handle that just fine. So smoking doesn't necessarily stop you from being able to scuba dive, but smoking related illnesses do stop you from being able to scuba dive. Okay. Please click on the thumbs up button. Yes, please do. Kim, okay. All right, I think I'm caught up with the chat. Well, guys, I think we've wasted a perfectly good hour. What do we got? 50? No, we're only 53 minutes. Well, I'll go for a little bit longer. What else would you guys like to talk about up here in Alaska? Huh? What do you want to talk about? Hold on a minute. Willie, come. Willie, here. Willie, come. Here. Willie, come here. Come. Come on. Come on. No, over here. Come here. Come on. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Can you guys see her? There you go. Here, Lily, over here. Over here. Lily, rabbit. Rabbit. Look. Look at the people. Look over here. Ah. She got all excited because I said rabbit. Now she's running around looking for a rabbit. She does the same thing if I say moose. Okay, let's see, Teresa. Smoking contains... Oh, wow, the sun's behind a cloud. All of a sudden I can read. Smoking contains carbon monoxide, CO2, which attaches to your RBC, thus puts more of your O2 consumption to a limit. Seeing CO attaches and holds on, pushes out the good O2. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't scuba dive because you smoke. If you have normal lungs, even though your lungs may be somewhat challenged because of your smoking. I know a lot of people that smoke and scuba dive. I know a bunch of people that smoke and scuba dive. So it's not necessarily means you can't. It just depends on how bad your lungs have gotten as a result of it. I think it's a matter of degrees. So, yes, Lily is cute if I could just get her to stand still long enough to get a shot of her. So, she likes being a butt. You see, I'll try again. Let me move my bench back a little bit. All right, hold on. All right, come here. Come here. Now look at the camera over there. Can you see the camera? Huh? Can you see the camera? No, you can't see the camera? You're not going to say hello to folks? Over here. Look, look, over here. Over here. She's just not going to do it. More than she can handle, guys. More than she can handle. Oh. All right, you know what? I'm going to get rid of her by... I'm going to throw this for her. Watch how crazy she gets. You won't be able to see it, but you'll hear it. And she's off. So now you'll hear that banging around in the background while we finish here. Oh, the sun's back out. Jasper is a squirrely dog. Yep. No, not that you can't, but you will make it a life hobby. It would be best if you quit. Well, yeah, Teresa, hey, it's better for everybody to quit. Period. Period. No, there's no reason whatsoever for anybody to smoke cigarettes. Teresa, I know you're a smoker. There's absolutely no benefit whatsoever to anybody physically from smoking. Everybody should quit smoking. Period. I'm a non-smoker. I'm a Bible thumping, don't smoke kind of person. That much I have to admit. That may be one of my vices, is that I'm really against it. And I grew up with two parents that both smoked, and my first wife smoked, and I just don't get it. I really just don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you intentionally do something that's hurting yourself? So, oh my word, I need Lily here, and I have so much in common. Meg, hey Meg, hey darling, how you doing? Man, it was fun watching you on the live stream today. I really do. It was so much fun watching you on the live stream, you and Bobby today. I am so jazzed about you guys getting that catamaran, man. I am so jealous, actually, of you guys getting that catamaran. I would love, 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 love to have that catamaran. It's a fantastic boat, so I'm really glad that you made it. I hope Bobby can work out all the details with it and get it set up. Oh, there we go, shade. Hey, I can read the chat. Cool. Now all I need to do is keep the sun behind a cloud, and I'll be fine. No, a beautiful day up here in Alaska. What am I saying? I'm enjoying the sunshine, even if it is hard to see. Come hang out with us. Man, I'd love to do that. I will be doing that. I guarantee you I will do that. Things are looking good, openly optimistic up here. The lady looking at buying my property is still working towards it. We're going to have some kind of big meeting tomorrow afternoon and work out some more details. Maybe we can finally get things moving along. As I was telling folks earlier that it seems to be her just sort of modus operandi to take forever. The house she lives in now, it took her 5 months from the time she signed the contract until she closed on it. So I guess it's just, this lady just takes forever. She works to her own drummer, and so, but I can assure you, as soon as I have this property sold, I'm going to be on a boat, and we will tie up alongside and party, man. Absolutely. Home place says, I have lung problems from secondary infection during a bout with meningitis. So smoke, especially cigarettes. Yeah, I can't be around cigarettes at all anymore. I just can't do it. Hey, Wendy Phillips. Well, you guys are pouring in just as I'm getting ready to close shop up here. But it's all right. We'll go 10 minutes or so. Thanks, Sailing Doodle. Now, I don't know if that Megan or Bob, but yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. I think we're going to be there. You know, I just have a gut feeling. I just have a gut feeling things are going to be good and it's going to happen. So, and man, I'm ready. I'm ready. I am ready to get going with it. So, make good progress cleaning up. Got a dumpster delivered this past week. Cleaning up the yard, getting all the stuff picked up around the yard and organized, getting rid of all the stuff. Had our first auction up here, so about a third of my stuff went during that. Maybe a quarter of my stuff went during that. So hopefully the next one's coming up in 3 weeks. We'll be able to get that much more. Hey, Carolyn Harmon, just talking about that, selling my stuff. So we had one auction. They came and loaded up a bunch of stuff, but it seemed like a bunch of stuff, but really it didn't make a dent. And they're coming in 2 weeks to load up another bunch of stuff for a second auction, and then there'll be a third auction after that one. So I'm hoping I'll be down to pretty much nothing. I am looking at buying a small trailer, a little cargo trailer. I'm going to move all my sailing, fishing, scuba diving, all the stuff I'm keeping. I'm going to move all that on board a small trailer just to get it out of my way. Then I hope to reduce the cabin to basically just a campsite. Minimal stuff. And get rid of everything else at the auction. So making progress one day at a time. Reich, hey Reich, dropped in and say hello. Well, welcome. I'm glad you dropped in. Very cool. Yeah, we're sitting outside. Finally have some decent weather up here in Alaska. In fact, I'm feeling a little chilly right now. We were high of 72. The sun's in behind a cloud right now, so it's chilled off quite a bit. We got a big breeze blowing by, but everything's greening up here pretty wild. I'll see if I can show you again what it looks like. I don't know how well you can see that, but you see how green everything is coming up. My peonies are doing beautifully, even though they really need some attention. I gotta get out there and do some weeding and stuff. But that's not gonna happen. Not with my bad back. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. I can't bend over with my back the way it is, not as fat as I am. So I'll get sailing, start swimming more often, help me lose weight. Well, guys, I think we're gonna end it here. We wasted a perfectly good hour. And I kind of covered bases, all the things I want to talk about. Unless you got some specific questions for me, I'll give it a minute or two and answer some specific questions, and then we're gonna give it a rest here. So you haven't had your usual Sunday live feed beer yet. Oh, and you know I'm outside and the beer is in the fridge, so probably not going to do that, Kelly. But I'll tell you what, I'll drink a beer after the live stream. Nah, probably won't. Probably won't. I don't know. I don't drink anywhere near the amount of beer I used to. And more often than not, I don't know, just not into it. I used to drink quite a bit, worked my way through college, bartending and stuff. And a couple of years ago, 2015, the doctors told me I had elevated liver enzymes most likely from a fatty liver disease from too much alcohol. So they told me to stem off my alcohol drinking, so I kind of did. Now I have an occasional beer, maybe. Well, let's put it this way: the last beer I drank was last Sunday. So I usually have 2 or 3 a week, but it's been a week since I had a beer. So I don't know, I don't know. I don't know why I'm not drinking hardly any beer anymore. I could. I'm not in that bad of health. The elevated liver enzymes, the guy was telling me, cut back, but he was saying cut back to maybe 2 a day, and that would be it. So instead, I cut back to nothing. And I really like beer, so I guess I'll have to do more. Why not rent a trailer? Would that not be cheaper? No, Declan, for what I need to do, I need to buy a trailer because I have more stuff than I can fit in my SUV that I'm going to be taking with me. So I'm going to need to put the stuff in a trailer, store it there, but then also haul it in that trailer with me as I am boat shopping. I mean, right now there's one boat in particular that I would like to buy, but there's at least a dozen boats I feel like I should take a look at first before I commit. And guys, they're all over the United States. They are west coast to east coast, north to south. There's some boats that I've looked at that I kind of like up in Seattle, in San Diego, in Texas, Nolens, Florida, Annapolis, and Maine even, and then upstate New York, which is where this one is that I really like. So I'm probably going to do a big drive around the country looking at all these boats, boat shopping, which I'm not going to have much time to do. I mean, we're in June right now, so if this lady were to come along and move quickly, I wouldn't be out of here till, say, the 1st of August or the end of August. And because where are we at now? We're at, what, June 4th. So 60 days for the banks to do their thing. So, yeah, we're going to be first week, second week of August if we can move very quickly. And she doesn't have a track record of moving very quickly. So I'm thinking it's going to be probably September. And then it's going to take me 5 days to drive down the lower 48 from Alaska. So, now we're mid-September. So if I was to buy that boat in New York, mid-September is getting kind of cold upstate New York. And if I were to drive straight over there, cannonball straight over there, it's going to be kind of cold. So I might want to be further south than that by that time of year. So I don't know. I mean, there's so many variables that I can't control at this point. I'm really going to have to wait and see what happens and see how quickly things move along. And that's going to have a big impact in deciding what I do. I think the boat in New York would be very interesting. Beautiful boat, great shape. Looks like, won't know till I have it looked at, but I kind of like the idea of sailing down from New York, from upstate New York, and coming down the canal system there, which is sort of historic. In fact, the canal actually brings you past Fort Ticonderoga. And I remember as a young kid going up there on a field trip and seeing Fort Ticonderoga and understanding the history that had in the American Revolutionary War and before that. So I kind of like the idea of doing that. But, I'm getting too late in the year, so that may not be feasible at this point. Unless I just, tough it out and deal with the cold. So hurricane season's coming up anyway. Oh, hurricane season will probably be over by the time I'm ready to start heading south again. Let's see. Declan says, but you can't take everything with you. Need to downsize. Oh, Declan, buddy. Believe me, I'm downsizing. Wow. Yeah, when I say I'm going to rent a trailer, I'm not talking about a big trailer. But, there's a lot of crap that I'm going to take with me because of the stuff that I plan on doing on my show and with my channel. Not only do I have all my camera gear, but I have all my dive housings and dive gear, all my scuba diving gear, snorkeling gear, free diving gear, spearfishing gear, all my fishing equipment, and copious amounts of that. And then it's just, clothes and pots and pans, dishes, glasses, that I'll need on board, and yeah, just more stuff than I can fit in the back of my Excursion. And I think because of how many miles I have to travel and how small my budget's going to be, I probably am going to throw my mattress in the back of my Excursion and sleep in the back of the truck while I'm traveling to save myself motel bills. I might motel every, second or third night to get a shower, but for the most part, I'm just probably going to sleep in the back of my truck. And so it would be cheaper for me to buy that trailer, use it for what I need to use it for, and then sell it once I move everything on the boat, than it would be to pay for the motel bills that I will incur if I didn't have the space in the back of my truck to sleep. So it's kind of a trade-off. So I figured the least expensive way for me to go, considering the miles I'm going to have to cover, would be for me to get a trailer and put my stuff in the trailer, and then I can have the mattress in the back of my truck, sleep back there. So anyhow, guys, I think that's about it. We're going to wrap it up here. If you have any more questions, please put it in the comments or in the chat, and I will get back to you. Please do like and subscribe. I do have a Patreon page set up. I've got one patron so far, so if you want to jump on that, that would be awesome too. I'd like to build that up, obviously, for what I'm going to be doing. And we'll catch you guys later. So you guys all take care, be good and be careful, and we will see you guys later.